What's going on, guys? T-Torres back here for another video. So as you saw in the last video, Zach did a great job powder coating the Kryptonite upper control arm. So what we're going to do today, me and Samuel, the guy behind the camera, we're going to be installing the Kryptonite Stage 3 leveling kit. We have new ball joints, new bushings, all new hardware, and yeah, we're going to go for that level look. And of course, as you saw in the last video too, we do have the all-new 4 Fox 2.0 shocks that we are going to be putting on the truck. And oh, we also have the torsion keys that we are going to be installing as well. And that's going to be the first time for me or Samuel to install the a kit like this. And yeah, I think we're going to crank the keys up just a little bit. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and dive straight into this project. And yep, first thing we're going to do is we're going to get to assembling the actual upper control arms, building these out, and then we'll move on to the truck and remove all the factory hardware that's at like 12-13 years old. So the first thing we're going to do, we already assembled this upper control arm, as you can see, just so we can make sure we're going to tell you guys the right stuff. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to take the ball joint, and we are going to mount it to the bottom of the actual upper control arm. You can mount these on the bottom or the top. They recommend to mount them like this if you're going to turn up the keys and stuff like that. So that is going to be the first step. And then you'll take one of these gold bolts, washer, and then you'll grab another washer and a lock nut for the bottom side of that. And then you'll do that 4 times, of course. Alright, so on the ball joint, you're going to use a 13mm ratchet and a wrench, and then you're going to tighten this all the way till it gets snug. And then once you get all 4 of them snug, you're going to tighten them down to 22 foot-pounds of torque. Alright, so we have the ball joint secured, 22 foot-pounds that we did. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to take these little bushings. Some of these you can push right in, just like that. Just like that. Take this piece, push that puppy in, and you're probably going to need your mallet, just like I have here. Okay, and then obviously you're going to do the same thing on the other side. And then you're going to take one of these fittings here, one of these zerts, and then you are going to place it on here. And then as you can see, give me 1 second. And then as you can see here on the ball joint, that's where you're going to put your straight zert, not the one that has the elbow in it. Right, so now that you have inserted the zerts, the ball joint, tighten everything down 22 foot-pounds, you have one last thing to do, and that is to install these little bump stop here. You're going to do washer, go through the hole, take your, what do we call this again?
Split ring locking washer.
Yep, split ring locking washer, and then put your nut on there and call it a day. Alright, so just to give you guys a little sneak peek, we have finished the upper control arm, the Kryptonite. We have the Fox shock. Excuse me. Yeah, we have the Fox shock now installed. We are going to move on to the driver's side and get that one done. We wanted to go ahead and get this one done and off camera so we can give you guys a better experience on exactly how to do it step by step. It's pretty simple. Remove a few bolts. Take this line off, a little 10mm bolt. But I'll explain all that in the next clip on the driver's side. But just to give you guys a look, this is what she's going to look like for now. So I think in the future I am going to get these powder coated. Obviously I'd like to get the torsion bars powder coated, but anyways, let's move on to the driver's side and let's go over how exactly we're going to take the factory upper control arm off. Alright guys, so the first thing you want to do to take off the upper control arm, you're going to remove this sensor. There's a bracket here and a bracket here, and just kind of let that sit freely. And then there's a 10mm bolt right here that you need to go ahead and loosen, like so. Okay, and then you'll get that out of the way. Okay, so that's now off, and then you'll push this to the side, just like so. Next thing, after you have that bracket off and this 10mm off, we're going to loosen the nut down here on the bottom of the upper control arm.
Ready.
Okay, so after you have all of this stuff disconnected, you got your 10mm bolt out. There is a 3/4 nut that you need to remove here on the lower part of the ball joint. Don't take it completely out. And then we have like a little pickle fork. We're going to take it and we're going to get under the upper control arm like this. And then you'll see the it'll start to the ball joint, or not the ball joint, excuse me, the actual upper control arm will start to give. I can get it lined up just right. Just like that. And that's why you want to make sure you still have the tension on the bottom of the bolt. And then, so now that that's off, go ahead and take your 3/4 wrench and bust that loose. And then the next thing we're going to be doing is taking off these upper control arm bolts. Okay. All right, guys, so we have moved on to the top of the upper control arm. This is a 13/16. And then, yep, you just need to remove both of these nuts like I'm doing. So you do this side. Okay, get that one loose. And then also, obviously, you need to break this one loose. And then once that's done, we'll take the bolts out, take these clips right here out, and then we'll go ahead and start to pull the actual control arm out. And then we'll get it prepped for the new one. And then we're also doing the Fox 2.0 shock. So we'll go ahead and take this top hat loose, and then we'll take the bottom bolt here loose and go ahead and let that out. Guys, so we have got the 13/16 nut out, and then I just take a little mallet and hit the bolt, and as you can see, it's gonna come right out. Okay, and there you have it. There's the bolt, and then here is the other piece that plays along with it. And then let's see if I can. It's gonna be tricky to get the mallet into this one. Okay. All right, so we're hitting the frame over here. That side's out. Get this out, and then the upper control arm should just pull right out, just like that. So here you have it. I know the lining is kind of bad. Here is the factory upper control arm. Piece of junk. Everything's wore out. The ball joint, let me look at that. Completely wore out. I'm sure these bushings are completely wore out. I'm gonna go wash my hands, and we're gonna go handle the new upper control arm. And then, actually, I'm gonna go ahead and take the top hat off of this, the shock, remove it, put the new shock on, and then go wash my hands, and then we will go ahead and install the new upper control arm. Okay, so on the bottom of the shock, there is a nut. It is a 13/16, and what Samuel and I have done, we jacked up the lower control arm, and right now I am beating the actual nut out. As you can see, it's actually pulled out just a little bit right here. And then we will continue to go up top with a, what was that sucker up top? 16mm, I believe it was. Yeah, a 16mm to take the top hat off, and then we'll go ahead and get that shock off and get the new Fox 2.0 on there. All right, the factory shock is now out. Now it's time to install the Fox 2.0 like we did on the passenger side. Yeah, super dark out, but we're gonna get this done. So we'll get the upper control arm done, the shock done, and then we have two in the rear we got to do, and then we'll finish off with doing the torsion keys. All right, so we got the shock on. This top bolt right here needs to be tightened down to 17 foot-pounds, and then the bottom one right there where the socket is, we're going to tighten that one down to 59 foot-pounds. Okay, the top nut, like I said, for the 17 foot-pounds is a 3/4, and then down here on this nut is a 13/16 on that puppy, and that goes to 59 foot-pounds. All right, guys, we have finally got the driver's side done. I don't even know what time it is. It is 8:30. So just to let, oh, I almost fell over. So just to let you guys know, I know the lighting sucks, but on this ball joint, bottom nut is 52 pounds.
52 pounds. And
then up here, where these bolts go to the upper control arms go to the frame, that is 140 foot-pounds. We are finally finished. All we got to do now is just put the rear shocks on. I'm not going to show you guys that. That's easy. Plug the sensor back in, put the wheels back on, and then we'll do the keys, and then she'll be off to get alignment soon. It is 11 o'clock at night on a work night, but me and Samuel finally got the rear Fox shocks done. Got the upper control arms done. Got obviously the front Fox shocks are done. The only thing we did not do is put the keys in. I'm going to wait and do that at a later time. I am, of course, going to get the truck level, and then I'll probably do the I'll do the torsion keys and then crank it up a little bit sometime this week, and then I'll take the truck to go to alignment. Hopefully that doesn't cost too much, but yeah, definitely learned a lot today about doing just, you know, a simple leveling kit, you know, upper control arms, the bushings, the ball joints, everything that what it needs to be spec'd to as far as torque, foot-pounds, and yeah, the shocks. I can't wait to take the truck on a test drive and see how it feels. Probably going to take a few miles for the truck to settle in with the suspension and stuff like that. So I'm imagining it's probably going to be a little bit stiff. But thank you all so much for watching, and thank you, Samuel, for your help. And if you're stopping to the channel for the first time, please leave this video a big thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button, turn on your post notifications, and also you guys have already seen me and Samuel are going to be building an ambulance build. We are going to be turning his ambulance into a camper, and we are currently looking for a, what year, cab?
Anything newer than a 2010.
2010 and newer front clip for the ambulance. So if you know one, comment down below, shoot me an email, chassis cab, something like that. Yeah, so thank y'all so much for watching. We'll see you on the next video. I'm tired. Peace.